This is like coming home. I didn't sleep here at night unless we had a retreat, or if a couple of us got in trouble one time and we were grounded to freshman dorm. But the nuns were absolutely wonderful. All these stories about nuns hitting you with rulers and stuff. I was the terror of Ursula and I never got hit. I did get grounded, but it's all the girls that I went to school with are mostly still friends, the ones that's still alive. And we talked at least 2 to 3 times a month on the phone. And we're just a close-knit bunch of girls that had great times together. When we would have dances down in the gym, we'd have to go to the front parlor, even if we were day students, which I was, and the boy would have to come and escort us down to the gymnasium where the dance was. And you had to have a formal that came up above your collarbone, and if we had a dress that the guy could touch your shoulder with his hand, they had to have a hanky to put over your shoulder because you couldn't touch bare skin back then. And the dances were a couple of hours long. You had to have a dance card. You had to have gloves on, and this part would fit over your hand, and you would dance like this with your dance card. And the boy had to sign up if he wanted to dance with you. And usually there was a Catholic boys' school over in Farmington called St. Joe's, and they would ship the boys over from St. Joe to dance with us Ursuline girls. And John Baldwin, the only name on there, is who I ended up marrying about 5 years later. He was the love of my life. He was going with my best girlfriend when I got off the bus in front of the Cozy in Ironton, and I told Mary I was going to marry him, and that was in 8th grade. Okay, Ursuline Academy, it was a girls' boarding school, and it was started by the Methodists in the 1800s, and then the Ursuline nuns took over, I would say, in the early 1900s. It was a place for wealthy young ladies, or sometimes young ladies that got in trouble with wealthy families. Some of the girls were ambassadors' daughters. When I was in grade school, because Ursuline went from 1st grade all the way to 12th, we had a couple of Japanese 1st graders. Their father was an ambassador to the United States. And then also I had boarders, what they were called, from 1st grade all the way to 12th. Most of them were from foreign countries. I would say I went to school with girls from Japan and Cuba, Mexico, a couple from Thailand, and just all over the United States. We had the borders. We had, Ursuline had different areas for, say, freshman dorm, sophomore dorm, and then we had rooms when you got to be a junior or senior, and you didn't have to sleep in a dorm. The nuns in the dorms had their own room because there was always a nun standing there watching you. And like I said, I can remember 3/4 of them. They were absolutely awesome. The theater was, we would do a play once a year, a musical, and the parents would come to that. Or we also had 2 baby grand pianos in here, and if you took piano like I did, you would give a recital once a year, and it was all the kids that played piano. And you'd have to come up the back steps to the stage, and come to the front of the stage and curtsy. And then you go down the steps and you'd play your little piece, and you'd finish and curtsy again and disappear down the back steps. I am Linda Blanton Baldwin. I live in Arcadia Valley, have born and raised here. My parents owned a dry goods store that the nuns used to frequent. It was right down the street, and then when I got married, my husband owned a hardware store, and it was over 100 years old when we closed. And that's me.